What's up YouTube, Dal here from Zephyr War Games. Before we get started with this video, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. If you are extending your celebrations today, then I continue to say, I hope all of your presents are extra shiny and extremely blessed. With all of that out of the way, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a test hand video, only go in first in as much detail as I possibly can, using the first place Darkworld deck that I showed. Now I've had a lot of comments in regards to the test hand videos saying that they're just not long enough and you need more in order to learn more. So, I am more than happy to do that for you guys. In today's video, we'll only be doing test hands going first. We'll do them playing through our opponent's turn. And then tomorrow, I will do test hands using the exact same list to show you the aggression of the deck. And then at a later test hand, we may even start adding into, well, what if they have 1, 2, or 3 interruptions. With all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. With all of that out of the way, after a very decent shuffle and a good old cut, our first test hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the draw power. So, we're going to start this one off by normally summoning the Luna. We're going to use Luna's effect to search out another copy of itself because that will help us deck fin, and deck fin is a very important part of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you basically reduce the risk of drawing into a useless copy or a secondary copy later on. So we're going to shuffle this up now. Unfortunately, with the hand we have, because we do not see any dangers, we are going to be forced to use the Allure of Darkness. Now, if our opponent activated any monster effects on the Luna at that point, we would be able to trigger it. But the reason of triple tactics in this build is that we trigger it ourselves. And if we get to that combo, I will show you how that works. So we're Allure of Darkness for 2. And we reveal 2 dangers, which is pretty much what we needed. At this point, it's entirely up to you. Now, we kind of want to be hitting both of these off of the back of a danger. Now, we can either have 2 bites at the cherry in order to try and do that, but we'd lose one of these, or we banish the Bigfoot, which, in my opinion, is ultimately the worst one to have. Now, to maximize your ability to discard the snow and the rainbow, you want to set the triple tactic talents. You'll reveal the Nessie, we'll go 1 to 4, and 5 and 6 will be rolls. So this is obviously all going to be down to luck. We get 5, 6 will be a reroll. We get a 6 again. We get a 2, so we hit the snow. There we go. So the snow gets hit, the Nessie summons, you draw a card off the Nessie, then you resolve the snow effect to search out any Darkworld card. Now at this point it's entirely up to you how far you want to push it. We could go straight for a Ceruli. That will start meaning that we give our opponent Ceruli by discarding it off of Catalyzer, and then we get to discard the rainbow. The rainbow will then search us out, but then you kind of hit a brick wall. Wall? So what I'm actually going to do, to deck fin a little bit more and to gain me a bit more advantage, is I'm going to go for the Genta. I'm going to use Genta's effect to discard this to search me out Gates of the Dark World. This will guarantee that I get the ability of Rainbow, and I'll also get the ability to add a Genta back to the hand. So we'll shuffle this up because we are going to activate the Gates. Plus, it will instigate a rank 4 play for me as well if I wanted to sacrifice my Luna for a Baguska or a Abyss Dweller as well. So we'll shuffle this up, make sure it's a very decent shuffle. We're then going to activate the Gates of the Dark World. We're going to use this effect to banish said Genta and discard the Rainbow. We'll then resolve that by drawing a card. Nice. And we'll go Chain Link 1 Rainbow, Chain Link 2 Genta to always protect your Rainbow in the grave. We'll summon the Genta back. We'll use Rainbow's effect to search that at level 5 or higher. Now, obviously, you can go for silver, you can go for gold. I'm going to be going for Grepher, just because, obviously, the idea behind this deck is you want to get to the fusion spell. And if I do somehow discard the Grepher, I can also be able to bounce back the rainbow as well. So after this shuffle, we're then going to bring the Genta back to the hand and summon back the rainbow. Now, obviously, in this scenario, if you want to guarantee that your danger hits something specific like the Grepher, then you wouldn't bounce back the Genta, you keep it as 4 cards. In this scenario, because there is no way to guarantee exactly what I'm going to put into the graveyard, I could activate the Catalyzer to put the Grepher into the graveyard, like so, and then use the effect of Grepher to bounce back the rainbow and summon the Grepher back. In doing it this way, yes, I have reduced my hand size from 5 to 4, but I've added a card that will get me more advantage if it is discarded. If either of these two are discarded, it's a little bit of a shame, but it is part of part. I would much rather discard one of those than this, and the ideal target is discarding this. But it is all down to luck. Even if your opponent is randomly choosing a card, it can still be dictated differently. If I really, really want to, as a worst case scenario, I also have a Saruja play on the board already. So we're going to go for Reveal Tsukanoko. We're going to go 1 to 4, 5, 6 will be a reroll. 5. Oh, why can't my opening rolls be this good? 4. So we hit the Genta, which is the one that you don't really want. It's, well, I mean, probably would have been worse hits than that. Resolve the Snake by drawing a card. We get a Catalyzer, which is a little bit disappointing because we could have kept our hand a bit at 5, but there's no way to guarantee that. Now again, in this scenario right here, you actually have the ability to go to a Saruja to kind of fix this hand or to change this hand up a little bit as well if you want to. Or you can start going into an IP Masquerena, you can go into a Muckraker or Muckrucker and everything else like that. I'm actually going to go Saruja because we're going to get a little bit greedy on this. So we're going to go for all 4 of those and we're going to go into our Saruja. We're going to use Saruja's effect. This will allow us to draw 4 and put 3 back. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and put 3 back. Now the first 3, 1, 2 straight away because they're of no use to me. The Fenrir is still actually very, very useful because I can just special summon it off the Saruja. However, if I do put the Fenrir back, then the Nessie has some very good targets to discard. In this scenario, I'm actually going to put the Rainbow back to the bottom of the deck and we're going to use Saruja's effect. Now, I've got 2 options here. If I wanted to, and I wanted to increase my hand advantage, I could actually special summon down the Snow and then put the Snow back into the hand using the Grapha. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to special summon down the Fenrir just to give me another form of interruption so that if my turn does end, I still have plays to make. We'll use that Fenrir effect, we'll search out another copy of itself. Again, if you wanted to guarantee that Nessie would hit one of these 2 or increase your chances of hitting one of them, then you actually save it. So we'll do that, to be fair. We will use the effect of a Nessie and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5, 6, hit the Snow, perfect. So Snow goes, Nessie summons, draw 1 card. It happens. Snow's effect will then go off to searching out any Darkworld card. Now, again, you've got a couple of options here. You've got no way to guarantee you're going to be able to discard a card. So going for something like Ceruli could be very, very risky. Alternatively, what you can go for is you could go for or the best one to go for would be an Ascension, because it guarantees you the fusion monster, and it will then also guarantee you an effect off of the back of Rainbow in order to get you a hand loop of 2. So it really depends on where you want to go here. You could go for another Genta to search out another gate, but then you're just risking everything for a random draw and discard. And there's no guarantee to get the Ascension, whereas with the Ascension, at least you've got another form of interruption. It's a bit of a shame that we drew a second Fenrir. Like, if we didn't get a second Fenrir, we would have been good. We're going to activate the Fenrir's effect anyway, and search out the 3rd and final Fenrir. So, if they keep the Saruja on the board, we're laughing. And then what you want to do here is you can save the Ascension for your turn should your opponent like rock a Darkworld or no more in the main deck. But because we're focusing on going first, I'm really not going to worry too much about that. So what we'll do is you'll activate Ascension, you'll banish the Grapha from the graveyard, and you'll discard the Rainbow. Sadly. There you go. Bye, Grapha. This will then allow you to trigger the Rainbow effect, which will allow you to search out a silver or a gold. Let's be aggressive, so we'll go for gold. And then if that wasn't enough, so let's move the dice out of the way. Let's summon out our fusion monster. Nice. You've now got a couple of other options. You can actually activate the Ascension effect, discarding the gold, putting that to the board, adding the Ascension back, and then use Rainbow's effect to add the gold back to the hand. So you've increased the strength of your board by having a stronger monster on there, and you've put an Ascension and a gold back in. Now, obviously, unbeknownst to your opponent, because they don't know what you've got in your hand, your Ascension is technically dead because you don't have another Grapha in the graveyard. You can go into something like a Muckraker, you can go into a BLS, Soldier of Chaos. What I would probably do, just to give you as many options as possible, is I would probably get rid of the Nessie and I'd get rid of the Rainbow. I could get rid of the Saruja if I want to, and go into an IP. Now, the reason you do that is because now during our opponent's turn, we have the ability of a banish off of Fenrir, we've got a bounce off of Luna, we've got an IP that can trigger to go into either an Appaloosa once these have used their effects, or it can go into a Underworld Goddess, and it can also go into a Unicorn. Not to mention we've also got Grepha's effect to turn their effect into we discard a card, and then gold can become a pop too, or if you wanted to loop your opponent's hand, you go for a silver. So that's kind of an example here. So let's say we play for our opponent's turn. We'll use, they've got 6 cards to play with, right? So let's use the 6-sided dice. Now, bar one of them being a Darkworld no more, if they have a Darkworld no more, then you probably wanted to hold back the Ascension. But like I said, that is preemptive if you feel that your opponent is main decking. Now, from those 6 cards, you're going to take away 1 with Luna, because you'll do Luna at the right time. So if you let them commit a monster to the board, so they would have to normal summon a monster or get 2 monsters on the board to get into a link monster without using an effect, because Fenrir will just banish it. So Fenrir using an effect, that puts them down to 5 cards. Luna puts them down to 4 cards. Wherever the 4 on the dice is, there we go. Grepha would then put them down to 3 cards. And doing it at the right time, your gold would then pop 2. So let's say gold removes them of... well, probably gold wouldn't remove them of any hand advantage, so to say. You can then use IP Masquerena, and because these have both used their effects, you can ultimately do IP Masquerena into a 3 negate Appaloosa. So Appaloosa, as long as those 3 remaining cards and monster effects can deal with that. Or you go into Unicorn, which will then take care of one of your other opponent's monsters. Or if you really wanted to, you could go into an Underworld Goddess, which would take care of another one of your opponent's monsters. So they only have 2 cards that they can effectively use. Now, if they've baited you out with 4 cards, they've done incredibly well. That being said, keeping in mind as well that you could save the Luna bounce because you could use the gold pop. Ultimately, if you use the silver instead of the gold, that would completely clear their hand out. They wouldn't have any other cards to play with. It was just dependent on whether you're worried about board presence or whether you're worried about hand advantage as well. So that's one example, going through your opponent's hand, going through your opponent's turn as well. We'll now do a second turn using the exact same list. And then what we'll do is we'll do 2 test hands using the side deck as well. Because I think using the side deck could be very, very important for you guys to see. And again, what I'll do is in this video, I'll only put in my go in first cards. And in the second video, I'll put in my go in second cards. So you can kind of see what you're aiming for, where you're playing, and how the side deck actually affects the plays. So after a very decent shuffle and a good old cut, our opening hand of this one being 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, very, very interesting. Now, personally, I want to resolve this, so I'm going to set the response team. I could just have it in hand, but I'm not really worried about it. We'll reveal Nessie, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be a reroll. 5. 5. God damn it. Don't be a 5. That's a 3. So 3 hits the gold, which is probably like the perfect one you could hit. So we summon Nessie, we draw a card, gold summons, and then we can go further. So we can now activate the response team, target this danger, and 1 card on one monster on the field. Return both of them to the hand. So there you go. The reason you would do that is, in theory, I could activate the response team's effect in the graveyard if I want to get an additional draw. So it's entirely up to you. What you've done there is you've kind of refreshed your hand a little bit. So we're going to also Luna. We're going to use Luna's effect. This will then search us out a second copy of herself just to increase the way our hand looks. We could then discard the Nessie if we wanted to. So I can use Nessie's effect off the back of Danger Response Team. Put that back to the bottom. I'm just going to shuffle up. Just to get me a random draw. There we go. Put that back to the bottom. Draw 1 random card. Broken. And then Nessie's effect will resolve to replace itself with another danger. Now, ultimately, I want a level 4 on the board, so I'm going to go with Mothman. And you can see already, through that route of play, we've actually plussed the card. So we've got 6 cards in the hand, and we're going first. You've now got 2 dangers and an incredible amount of cards in the hand that you don't mind getting hit. So we'll reveal Jackalope first. We'll go 1 to 6. No reroll this time. We hit the 5, which is Snow, broken. So Jackalope summons. We draw a card. Snow's effect goes off, searching out any Darkworld card. Now, in this scenario, I'm probably going to go for Genta, just because it will allow me to gain a bit more advantage, and also, ideally, set me up a rank 4 play. So we use Genta's effect. This will then search us out Gate of the Darkworld. See if he's in the top stack. No. We're actually going to go for Gate of the Darkworld. There we go. We'll shuffle this up because we will get a draw. And we'll also have the ability to trigger a discard. Now, if I wanted to trigger a better discard or a discard that was gaining me advantage, I'd have to go a different route. A little bit more of an unknown route. So we'll shuffle that up. I can then activate Gate of the Darkworld. Now, it's entirely up to me, or up to you as the player. You can choose not to activate the Gate's draw effect right now. and reveal the Mothman, and hoping that you're going to dig into a card that you want to discard, or will be more beneficial for you to discard off of the back of the gates. So it's entirely up to you on how you want to play this one out. I'm going to reveal Mothman because ideally I don't mind any of these getting discarded. So 1 to 5, 6 will be a reroll. 1. So we hit the Grapha, which is absolutely fine to be fair. Summon down the Mothman. Mothman will allow us to draw 1. Chupacabra, again, not really a card I want to discard. Plus I don't have a danger in the graveyard. I can put a danger in the graveyard by linking 2 off to try and get me a bit more future advantage. But ideally there's not a lot there. So we'll actually activate Gate this time now because we'll be able to gain a bit of advantage on that one. So we'll banish this, we'll discard the gold. We'll draw a card. Rainbow, that's what I wanted. Anyway, resolve the Genta, resolve the gold. There we go, put those both on board. Now if I wanted to, I could bounce one of them back to the hand. I could search out a second Gate of the Darkworld, which could be beneficial by putting Rainbow in the grave, to be fair. So we'll do that. We'll use Grapha to return Genta to the hand. We'll use Genta's effect again, because it's not once per turn, it's only a once per turn to special summon said Genta. And we'll search out a Gate of the Darkworld. We'll activate the second Gate of the Darkworld, we'll use this effect, and this time we're going to banish the snow, and we're going to discard the rainbow. I'll shuffle up so we draw a random card. There we go, our random card will be Talents. Okay, still not had the ability to show you how that is effective yet. We're then going to use Rainbow's effect. Rainbow can obviously only return gold, which is really important. And then you've replenished your hand of 5. Now, again, if you want to, you can kind of link all these together. I've still got to resolve Rainbow, actually. That would be smart. So Rainbow would actually gain us an additional card. Do I want silver? Let's take silver. Let's kind of go from there. Now, it's entirely up to you on this particular stance and this particular play how you want to do it. There is a way of being able to bounce that rainbow back to the hand so you get even more advantage. You basically just link off your Grapha with anything else to help you climb up. Now, if you want to go Saruja, you can do. That just ultimately pretty much goes, there you go, there's a Saruja, done and dusted. You can go for a Cross Sheep for a little bit of early doors. We haven't got the ability to fusion yet. So that would be a risk of future aspirations. If you go Saruja, you're not going to be able to regain the rainbow. So again, it's all circumstantial on where you kind of want to take it. Everything else would be a little bit of a waste, in my opinion, to put it up into that zone. So let's go, I'll tell you what, let's try and get both of them back. Let's go all 4. All 4 into Saruja. Saruja will let us draw 4. We'll shuffle up because I searched out silver last. Saruja will let us draw 4, put 3 back, which is quite easy to do with this hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All the dangers. And we've got to put 3 back. So Genta's not that much use to me anymore because I've gone through both the gates. Yeah, I've gone through both the gates. Talents is no use to me because I can't complete the Ceruli combo yet. Luna is a great normal summon for the next turn, but not that great for me now. So they're the best 3 to put back. Obviously, you have stacked your hand with dangers, so you've got to be very, very careful because the fact is you're probably going to discard a danger off of the next reveal that you do. Now, in order to increase my hand advantage even more, I can risk it, or I can special summon directly off the Saruja. And what I mean by that is I can risk it and hope that a danger hits one of these, and then I don't need to commit the special summon off the Saruja. I can save that for later, or I can do it just outright now. So I'm going to reveal a danger. So what we got? We got 7. So we'll reveal Nessie because Nessie is the most useful one. To be fair, obviously Bigfoot is the one you've got biggest chance of hitting, and we'll take out the middle one because that's usually what we'll do anyway. So we'll take out the middle one. It is Bigfoot. See, told you. Nessie will summon, and let's draw a card. Zephyros broken. Now we can reveal the dice again. So we will reveal. Luckily, we do have a Darkworld in the grave, a danger in the grave for Chupacabra. So we'll reveal Ogopogo. So 1 to 6, hit 6. It's not 6, hit 1. Ogopogo's effect will trigger. You can put danger response team in, but you can only use each effect once per turn, and we've already done that. So annoying. No worries. We'll then reveal Chupacabra. Come on, I want to gain hand advantage. 1 to 5. It's going to be 1. I should know it. It's 2. Okay. Ugh. Bigfoot. Damn it. Chupacabra. Effect. Draw 1. Like, of all the cards you could have hit, and it didn't hit them. Like, okay, we still got plays to make. That's no worries to me at all. So, how do I want to do this? I can't special summon Gento because I've already used it, so I can't get him to the board. I've already committed a normal summon of Luna. I could special summon down Gold, discard Zephyros, but Zephyros can't be special summoned if I use Muckracker. God, that's disappointing. Those discards could have been 100 times better. So sad. So sad. It's part of it, part of the game. There's no point in really regaining hand advantage without being able to trigger a discard. That's the other disappointing part. Don't really want to commit Zephyros for a rank 4. I mean, I could go into Daguerre's, but Daguerre's doesn't guarantee me anything. No, I take that back actually. I could Zephyros. Yeah, let's Zephyros. We'll use Saruja to special summon down Zephyros. We'll overlay Zephyros and Chupacabra. Forgot there a little bit that Chupacabra is actually a level 4. Duh. We'll detach 2. We'll draw 2, discard 1. Yes! Snow! Oh, Fenrir! Always up 1 card too late. Snow's effect, we're going to discard that because that will then give me everything I want. Ascension is probably the ideal scenario on this one. But to make it even better, you could, or even more riskier, you could go for Archives. Now, obviously, you haven't got a Darkworld to trigger the Archives, but that's something you need to consider for the future. So we're going to go for Ascension. So we've triggered that. We've got Saruja. We've done that. Just trying to figure this one out now. Oh, hello. Take half the mat out with me. There's no point in going for a second Gento. I could have gone for Ceruli. No, it doesn't really gain the advantage that I want it to gain. But neither does it. I'm going to have to banish the Grapha. Ah, so annoying. Alright, I mean, there's ways to play. It's just sad it has to be this way round. They're always doing it. Do I care if I lock myself into Fiends after this point? I don't think I do, actually. So, let's put these two together. Let's go into... Oh, hello. Muckracker. Let's go with this one. Put her somewhere a little bit smarter, so we'll put it this way, just to unlock an additional link zone, just in case. We'll use Muckracker's effect. We will discard Gold, doesn't matter which one you discard, and we will revive... let's revive Snow, because then I can add that back to the hand. We will then obviously use Snow's Gold effect, to special summon itself back, and then we have the ability for Grapha and Rainbow. There we go. So we'll return Snow to the hand for Rainbow, and then it's up to you if you want to return Gold or you want to return Rainbow. Obviously Rainbow will give you a second Grapha for a second fusion play. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to return Rainbow, we'll go for Grapha, that's the one I want to go for. We will then activate Ascension. Ascension will have to banish this, and we'll discard Snow. Yeah, okay, cool, I can do it that way. Where are we? Fusion Monster. Where are you? There we go. Grapha will come down. I can put him under Saruja and get a buff, but I don't really need to. We'll then trigger Snow's effect. Now, on this one, I'm going to get a bit greedy. Ideally, you could go for Ceruli. Ceruli will give you the ability to hand your opponent for 2, which is quite cool. Don't want to hand my opponent for 2. What have we got? I forgot the Zephyros. There wasn't really anything to bounce. It's fine. If I go Ceruli, I can ditch Silver, rip 2 from my opponent's hand. Silver summons back, but then I don't have anything else to bring it back to the hand. Alright, we're going to have to do it a different way. We're going to have to go for Archives. Archives is better. So, shuffle this up. And then, on Resolution, we will then activate the effect of Ascension. Activate Archives first. Doi, that's the whole reason I searched it. Activate Ascension, add it back to hand, discard Rainbow. Chainlink 1, Archives, Chainlink 2, Rainbow. Rainbow will search, give me a Grapha. and then archives will let me draw and discard. You can discard 1 card, then draw 2. So I have to discard first to draw 2, which is fine. So we'll discard the Grepher because we'll get. Do I want silver back? Nah, we'll discard silver. It's fine. I can add silver back, and then we'll draw 2. Okay. I've got to follow up for the next time. It's fine. And now you can use Rainbow's effect. We'll add this back to the hand. We'll summon Rainbow back. Rainbow will get a nice little buff off of Skuldred. And then what you want to do here is you want to set the Ascension, and you pass. Now, obviously, during your opponent's turn, it's not as effective as you wanted it to be because you probably wanted more forms of interruption like the first test hand. But what you've got to keep in mind here is doing everything at the right time will get you so much advantage. So you've got Luna as a bounce. You've got Grepher as a negate, and the Grepher will then could discard silver. And obviously there's no zones to do that, but by discarding the silver, you'll then be able to rip 2 from your opponent's hand. On top of that as well, if you activate Ascension, keep in mind you need to banish one of the Darkworlds from the board, otherwise you won't be able to summon it down. But by activating the Ascension, let's say you banish the Rainbow, not the Rainbow, sorry, Gold, and you discard the Grepher, by creating a second fusion monster, yes, you won't get a second effect off of it, but you'll get the effect of a Grepher to pop a card. So you've bounced 1, you've looped 2, you've popped 1, and you've turned another one. So you've flipped 5 cards around. Not to mention Muckracker can then protect everything, and because you discard a card off of Ascension, you'll also get the ability to discard again and draw a card. So you can discard the Thunderbird to pop a set card and draw 2 more cards as well, setting you up for the next turn. So that's just how you need to kind of think about playing through your opponent's turn. Obviously, like I've said about this deck many a time before, there is no guaranteed outcome when you're playing a deck like this. You just need to know what those outcomes can be. And what I mean by that is you're playing dangers. Like, dangers are not guaranteed. They are not guaranteed to hit. They are not guaranteed to miss. So there is no way that you can confirm how your end board is going to be. All you can do is confirm what you are going to do if your danger hits and what you are going to do if your danger misses. So, now what we do in our final test hand, I might do 2 of these depending on how it sees, is I'm going to go through my side deck. Now this is the exact same side deck that I displayed for you guys in the previous video. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in our cards that are go first cards. Now my go first cards in this build is Gozens and Skill Drains. Now obviously if my opponent is playing back row, I'll then consider putting in Twin Twisters. But ultimately, I'm going to use this as a scenario where my opponent is not expecting me to put back row in, and we're not going to be up against tier elements. Because if I'm up against tier elements, you're probably not going to put these in. If I'm up against tier elements, you're probably going to be looking at more so to, I would hoodwink them. And if I lost game 1, I would attempt to go first. Just to kind of give you that option of everything you may need and everything else you might want to do. So we'll go for the general play. So let's say, I don't know, try to think what best matchup you can think of. Flunders, you'd probably put both. You could put Skill Drains in. Sprites, I would put both in. Anyway, so if we're going first cards, we're going to take out a Bigfoot. I'm going to take out an Ogre Pogo. I'm going to take out Thunderbird. I'm also going to take out 1 talent. So I know it's a bit weird to just take out 1. But given my opponent's release, fine. Luna's fine going first. Catalyzer, so we'll get rid of 2 more. Let's get rid of I think my opponent's going to be putting in Draw and Lot Birds, so talents is probably more important to have than anything else. So in that scenario, what I'm going to do is I'll take out Bigfoot and also take out Thunderbird. Where are we? So in this scenario, what you're working towards is going first, even if you're shifted. Let's take out a Catalyzer as well. Let's take out way too many dangers. Overthink. Let's take out. Take out those 2. Let's keep a Bigfoot in. So what you've got to kind of consider when you're doing these sides is, you're trying to maximize the effectiveness. You're trying to make sure that the cards you are putting into your deck are just as effective as or more effective than the card you're taking out. Now, to me, the Chupacabra is less relevant if I'm not guaranteed to put a danger in the graveyard. The danger response team is less effective if I'm already taking out additional dangers. I already know that going second or going first against whatever matchup it is, my Thunderbird's not going to be that effective. and then Bigfoot is something that I can half the utility of, because if I'm not going to be relying on it as heavily, I can change it up. Now obviously against Flunders you might want to keep it in, but that's entirely up to you. So after a decent shuffle, like I would much rather just get to a skill drain and sit on a skill drain or a Gozen than have any of those dangers in my hand. So we'll shuffle this up and we'll do another test hand going first as well, using the side deck with skill drain. So our final test hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, again, not the most broken hand in the world, but still a very relative hand. So we're going to special summon down the Fenrir, we're going to deck Finn, again, very important that you deck Finn, and you've already got one form of interruption on the board anyway. Then you're going to shuffle this up. Now, you can reveal a danger if you want to, but you don't really want to lose that Allure of Darkness. You can use the Allure of Darkness now and hope you hit into another Dark monster. Again, really depends on the play style and how risky you're feeling. So we'll activate the Allure of Darkness just so that, I mean, the draw, you want it to be something that is going to be worthwhile, which it pretty much was. I could banish the Genta here, but because I control no Darkworld, I'm not going to be able to do anything with it. I could banish the Zephyros, and the benefit of banishing the Zephyros is that my Genta gate combo would work perfectly. I could banish the Rainbow, and if I do so, you're then just risking that you hit the Zephyros to discard. So the least riskiest play is banish the Zephyros. The most riskiest play with the most reward is to banish the Rainbow. So I'm going to go for the less risky. We're going to go with Zephyros. We're then going to use Genta. Genta will then search me out gates. We'll activate the gate. We'll use Gate's effect to banish the Genta and discard the Rainbow, because then that just guarantees that I get everything I need. So we'll shuffle this all up. We'll draw a random card off of Gate. Oh, another Genta. God damn it. We'll then use Rainbow's effect. Rainbow's effect will search us out a Darkworld of level 5 or higher. I want to get a bit of board presence, so let's go for silver. Genta's effect will then summon. No, let's go with Grapha. I might be able to loop my hand advantage, actually, rather than board presence, thinking about it. Such a shame Rainbow doesn't search out any Darkworld. I would have loved that to have been a high level Snow. Broken. Okay, so shuffle this up. Genta comes back. Haven't committed a normal summon or anything like that yet, so we're still in a good position. We'll then reveal Nessie, so we'll go 1 to 5. Given a 1 with the Ascension, we're actually in a good position to fuse as well. That was a poor roll. Poor roll. I mean, we can hit the Nessie, it doesn't really matter, because Nessie will just replace itself anyway. 5. Hit the Grepher, summon the Nessie. Draw off of the Nessie. Another Grepher, fine. And then we can loop back this for Rainbow, Rainbow for this. There we go. So we've looped our hand back. Ascension is still in a good place to work everything it needs to. Again, we still haven't committed a normal summon. Now, this is where you are just playing dig, because you're trying to dig for your your basically control cards. So our option here is we can activate one of the Gentas, search out a second gate, wherever it may be, play the second gate, use the second gate's effect, banishing the Genta, which will not summon this turn, but discarding the Rainbow. We'll shuffle up to draw that one random card. There we go, the one random card. Another Grepher, damn it. Rainbow's effect will then trigger to search you out a level 5, so we'll go for silver this turn. Now, again, you've got a couple of ways of wanting to do this. You can't special summon Genta again, but you still can normal summon it. So we'll commit our normal summon, we'll then bounce it back to the hand with the Rainbow. And then you've got 4 monsters with different names. Now, this is a dire scenario. You don't want to be doing this all the time, but you lose the Fenrir, sad. But this one will then allow you to go into Saruja. And now, even if your opponent stops you here with Saruja, like imperms it, you've still got the Ascension. So, then Saruja's effect, draw 4, put 3 back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 back. Well, definitely going 1 on the Genta. I'm going to keep the Allure. I'll keep the Archives, and we'll put... I really want to show you guys the Ceruli play. It's so annoying. Every time I get it, like I don't have the other piece. I mean, the least effective card is Talents right now. If my opponent hasn't activated anything now, they're not going to activate anything. So we put back. We've got a Genta, a Talents, and let's put back a Grepher. You can keep the Grepher if you're going to go for a double pop later on, but that's entirely up to you. I could loop more hand advantage if I want to by special summoning down Silver, but I'm going to do that a little bit later. So we're going to use Skuldred's effect, special summon down Fenrir, and then we've got an additional form of interruption. I'm going to activate Allure of Darkness, I'm going to draw 2. Catalyzer, nice, and Snow, which is also quite nice. And we'll banish the Genta off of this. Obviously Genta's not going to summon, but doesn't really make much of a difference on that one. We're then going to use Catalyzer's effect. We're going to discard the Snow. Snow's effect will then trigger, search out any Darkworld. Now I've got the Ceruli combo, really annoying. We'll go for Ceruli. Ah, so annoying. Shuffle that up. Then you can activate Ascension. Ascension will then let me fuse by discarding this Grepher and discarding Ceruli. This will then summon Grepher. And what I should have done, activate Archives. Or I should get to activate the Archives. So then off of this play, what you're going to want to do is you're then going to be able to trigger Ceruli. So you give Ceruli to your opponent. You'll also be able to trigger Archives, which will allow you to discard and draw. Now, keep in mind, Ceruli effect will trigger in the graveyard to summon. And then I believe when it is summoned, to your opponent's side of the field, to face out defense. And yeah, and so it's a separate effect. So you've got to make sure the when effect is triggered as well. So you'd have to go Chainlink 1 Archives, Chainlink 2... No. Chainlink 1 Ceruli, Chainlink 2 Archives. Because then the last thing to happen is Ceruli being summoned. So off of all of this, what you'll do is you'll discard a card, which will be Silver, and then draw 2. Bit risky. Definitely was risky. Actually, no, what am I talking about? I don't even do it that way. Do I do it that way? I'm trying to think. What a weird scenario. Do I archive first? No, I archive second. Ignore all of that. So I keep Silver in the hand. We just let Ceruli resolve. Ceruli resolves, discarding Silver. We rip 2 for our opponent's hand. Silver summons. Right, so our opponent currently has 3 cards in hand. Then at this point, here we go. This is where I was getting lost. We will then Rainbow return Silver, and then return Rainbow with Grepher. That's right. Jeez Louise. You then use Ascension's effect to discard the Rainbow to add the Ascension back. This will then trigger Rainbow's effect and Archive's effect. So you go 1 Archive to make sure you don't draw what you want to discard. You go 2 Rainbow. Rainbow at this point, I believe we've got 1 more Grepher. Wow, all my skill drains are at the bottom together. Great. 1 more Grepher and gold, I believe. So we'll take gold. Just we've got gold and silver. Shuffle up. We'll then use Archive's effect, which will let us ditch 1, draw 1. So we'll ditch the gold, which will summon itself back and draw 2. Nessie, broken, and Snow, broken. Now, at this point, you've got the ability to loop again, so you go gold back to the hand for Rainbow, Rainbow back to the hand for Grepher. So from when we had just like 1 card in hand, we've now just looped it all back, and we've got full 6 cards in hand, which is mental. I can trigger another effect because I can activate Archives. Archives will allow me to discard Snow to boost all of these. I will then be able to trigger Snow's effect to let me search out any Darkworld card. Now I want... go for another Grepher, because then at least it'll give me a pop during my opponent's turn, which is really nice. Still haven't got to our skill drains. After all of that drawing and all of that play, we still haven't got to our blooming skill drains. How bad is that? Now I've got Nessie that I can reveal if I want to try and dig for that draw. I suppose I could get to the Daguerreas as well, to be fair, wouldn't be the end of the world. I've messed up with my placement of the Fusion Monster. What else is new? But let's see, what else have we got? If a monster is special to a zone, this card points to. Can I use the material? Tribute 1 female. Target a female monster in graveyard, accept itself. Discard a card and if I do special summon it. Okay, we're going to have to do this really, really weirdly, but we're going to do it because it's funny. So, let's use the Grepher Dragon. No. Tsuruja and the Grepher Dragon for cross sheet. So 2 monsters with different names. I know straight away you lot are going to be like, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? There is method in this madness, don't worry. So then what you want to do is you want to use both the Grephers. And you're going to go into Moraka. Then what you're going to do is you're going to reveal Nessie. This is all digging for those side deck cards, by the way, guys. It's like, normally I probably wouldn't do this. We'll reveal Nessie, so you've got 1 to 6. Actually, probably set the Ascension, just to be safe. 1 to 5. 3, so we hit gold. Gold will summon, Nessie will summon. Damn it, gold, I don't want you to be there, but it's fine. We draw off of Nessie. Oh, I got the talents combo. Woo! Okay, cool. So our opponent has currently got 3 cards in hand. This is where the talents combo is going to come into play. And obviously, because I want to dig for my side deck cards, I kind of want the talents to draw them. But ideally, what you do is you activate talents, and then you look at your opponent's hand and spin one back, basically. Okay, what? Oh, I'm losing track of everything I'm doing. There we go. Right. Okay, so I've got 2 Greffers in the hand. I've got Ascension set. Haven't used Muckracker's effect yet, which I will do in a minute. But I need to get gold off the board. Gold is the one that is now in the way. So I haven't locked myself into Fiends yet, so I can play around this. Let's use talents. Let's just draw 2. Come on. Show my side deck cards. Please, please, please. Skill drains. No skill drains! But I got Mothman. Oh well. Oh, I can still dig if I really want to. I probably should have ripped one from my opponent's hand. That would have been a smart play. But basically what I'm trying to do, and it all makes sense eventually, is I was trying to get a rank 4 play on the board. But let's use silver. And let's go into, where are you? IP Masquerena. And unlock me some plays during my opponent's turn. I'm going to reveal Mothman, so we'll go 1 to 5. Obviously the only thing I don't want to hit is silver because then I can't summon it. 2, so I hit the rainbow. Mothman, summon, draw. Rainbow effect will search me out. Look how much deck fin I've done. This is mad. I don't think I've got any more targets for rainbow. I've got no more targets for rainbow. So, that's how much deck finning I've done. And then what you want to do here is you want to overlay these. You're going to go into, I mean, I could go, I'm going to go Digeris. You know, screw this. I'm just going to dig. Digeris, draw 2, ditch 1. No! No! Where are my side cards? I got like that much deck left. What is going on? Ditch 1. Ditch a rainbow for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, I've kind of overextended this beyond belief. Like, there was no need for me to do half of that stuff. The idea was Muckracker can bring back the fusion. By bringing back the fusion, it will trigger Cross Sheep as well. But ultimately, I've just completely and utterly just kept digging for no reason. So anyway, that was a bit of a out of control test hand. But I'm hopefully this is kind of showed you enough. You can see how much we went through though with that opening hand. Oh, sorry, we went through all of this. That was Saruja's. That's 2 gates. That was a multitude of dangers, and we still didn't get to the skill drains. Let's see where they were. It's where the skill drains and Gozens. Oh, there you go. All together. Of course, they would be all together. Of course, they would. Anyway, I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any questions, by all means, please put them in the comments down below. I will be more than happy to answer them for you. And then I will also show you a Go Second test hand plays tomorrow as well, so you can kind of see how this deck can then switch to being aggressive and then how it utilises the side deck with its aggression. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, guys, stay safe and, of course, happy dueling.